In the dry heart of an American frontier town, the morning sun burned down on a wooden auction platform built beside the courthouse. Clara stood there, only 19, her wrists stiff from the iron clasp that marked her as collateral for her family's debt. Her father's ranch had failed after years of drought, and doctors' bills from her mother's illness had finished them. The law had been clear and cold. Debts unpaid must be settled. Around her, men whispered numbers like gamblers at a card table, never meeting her eyes. Clara stared past them, breathing slowly, refusing to cry. She remembered how different life had been only 2 years earlier. Wide fields, laughter at supper, and dreams of teaching children to read. Now her name was spoken like merchandise. The auctioneer's voice rang out, sharp and practiced, listing her age, her health, her strength. Each word felt like it stripped something human from her. Bids climbed, and with each rise Clara felt the walls closing in. She feared where she might be taken, what kind of life waited beyond the town limits. Her heart pounded, but she stood tall, determined not to beg. At the edge of the crowd stood Samuel Reed, a 42-year-old rancher with weathered hands and quiet eyes. He was known across the county as a man of few words who worked his land alone since his wife's passing years before. Samuel had come to town for supplies, not the auction, but something made him stop. He listened, his jaw tightening as the bids rose. When a final aggressive offer echoed across the square, Samuel stepped forward. His voice was calm but firm as he placed a single bid that silenced everyone else. It was enough. The gavel slammed down. The crowd buzzed with surprise as Samuel approached the platform. Clara expected orders or demands, but none came. Instead, Samuel reached for the iron clasp and unlocked it, handing the chain to the clerk. "She's free," he said simply. No ownership claim followed, no conditions spoken. Clara looked at him in disbelief, unsure if she had heard correctly. Samuel paid the debt in full, turning away from the crowd as if the matter were finished. He offered Clara a ride out of town, saying she could rest at his ranch and decide her next step. As they rode away in his wagon, the town shrinking behind them, Clara felt something unfamiliar settle in her chest, relief mixed with uncertainty. Samuel explained little, only that no one should be sold for another's mistakes. The road stretched ahead, dusty and long, but for the first time in months Clara felt the future was not already decided for her. She didn't know what awaited her at the ranch, but she knew one thing for certain. The auction was over, and her life was finally her own. Life at Samuel Reed's ranch was unlike anything Clara had known. The first morning the sun rose over endless fields of golden grass, the air crisp and scented with hay and earth. Samuel showed her the layout of the ranch, the barn where horses slept, the fences that needed mending, and the small cabin where she would stay. Clara worked alongside him, learning quickly how to feed the animals, repair broken fences, and manage the stock. Samuel never treated her as property. He paid her wages and encouraged her to keep her own savings, each evening by the glow of an oil lamp. He taught her how to balance ledgers and plan the ranch's expenses. Clara discovered that work, though exhausting, could be freeing when it came with respect. Over weeks, a routine formed. Clara awoke with the sun, the land's rhythms guiding her. Samuel was quiet but not unkind. He shared stories of his past, of loss and endurance, without demanding anything from her. Trust built slowly between them, filling the space where fear had once lived. Clara found herself laughing again, her voice echoing in the barn as she worked. Samuel watched silently, a faint smile crossing his face, pleased by her growing confidence. The ranch became more than a refuge. It became a place of learning, a tight place where mistakes were part of growing rather than punishable failures. Clara's skills expanded beyond chores. She learned to read the weather, manage resources, and make decisions that affected the entire ranch. Months passed, and Clara's independence grew. Samuel never interfered with her dreams, instead supporting them quietly. When letters arrived from creditors who had refused to believe the debt was settled, Samuel handled the matter firmly, ensuring Clara's name remained untarnished. Her savings grew, and she began studying bookkeeping in the evenings, determined to create a future of her own making. Samuel encouraged her curiosity, answering questions about land management, contracts, and local laws. Clara marveled at how much she could achieve when someone believed in her abilities rather than her obligations. Eventually, the day came when Clara had to decide whether to remain on the ranch or pursue her studies full-time in town. Samuel handed her a small bundle of her savings and a weathered deed to the ranch. "This is yours," he said, "not because I bought it for you, but because you earned the right to choose." Clara's eyes filled with tears as she realized the weight of what he had given her: freedom, respect, and the knowledge that her life was hers to shape. She left for town with determination and gratitude, carrying the skills, wisdom, and hope Samuel had nurtured in her. Years later, Clara returned, confident and accomplished. She and Samuel expanded the ranch together, employing families in need and teaching others the lessons of dignity and self-reliance she had learned firsthand. The town still remembered the auction, but Clara remembered her freedom, her hard work, and the quiet rancher who had given her a chance at life. Together, they had transformed what began as despair into a legacy built on trust.